The storm came earlier than the weather reports warned. It wasn't snow. It was a wall of white fury crashing over the Montana Valley, swallowing roads, homes, and hope. Sarah Holden, a young widow with 3 children, tightened the rope around the last log she had dragged inside. Her husband, Daniel, had been gone for 8 months. An accident on the ranch left her alone with bills, fear, and winter that refused to show mercy. The wind howled like something alive, rattling the loose boards of the cabin. The power went out an hour earlier. The generator failed next. Her youngest, Lily, wrapped in 2 blankets, whispered, "Mom, I'm cold." Her oldest, Jacob, only 11, tried to be brave, but his hands shook. Sarah's heart clenched. She had no more firewood, no food except stale bread, and her phone battery blinked at 1%. She stared at the black screen. No signal, no help, no chance. Outside, the blizzard clawed at the windows as if it wanted in. The world was disappearing under snow. Miles away, a man named Ethan Cross, former Navy SEAL, drove slowly through the storm, the windshield wipers fighting the ice. He had returned to Montana after years of service, overseas, trying to find peace in the quiet mountains. He didn't expect the blizzard to turn deadly so fast. On his way home, his headlights caught something, a faint flicker, like a candle behind fog. A cabin, a weak glow. Something felt wrong. He parked his truck, grabbed his pack, and pushed through the storm. Snow hit him like knives, but he had moved through worse, survived worse. When he reached the cabin and knocked, the door barely opened, revealing Sarah, eyes tired, cheeks red with cold, children trembling behind her. Ethan took one look, and the decision was immediate. His voice dropped low, calm, steady, a soldier's voice. "You can't stay here," he said. "You and your kids won't survive the night like this." Sarah blinked, confused, terrified to trust a stranger. "But I don't know who you are." "My name is Ethan Cross," he said softly. "Ex-Navy SEAL. I'm not leaving you here. Not in this storm. Pack what you can. Come with me." The words hit her like warmth in the cold. Jacob stepped forward nervously. "Mom, maybe he can help us." Sarah swallowed hard. Her husband's face flashed in her memory, a man who always protected them. She felt the weight of responsibility press on her chest. A mother's decision could save or destroy. Finally, she nodded. "Okay, we're coming." Ethan didn't waste a second. He wrapped each child in survival blankets, lifted Lily into his arms, and led them through the blinding storm. Snow swallowed their footprints instantly. The wind roared like a monster, but Ethan never slowed, never hesitated. Sarah watched him carving a path through the blizzard, his shoulders broad, steps steady, as if carrying all 4 of them would be easy for him. Her fear began to shift, to gratitude, to hope, to something she hadn't felt since her husband's passing: safety. When they reached the truck, Ethan put the kids inside, started the heat, and handed them protein bars. "Eat, stay warm. Don't sleep," he instructed. Sarah's voice trembled. "Why are you helping us?" Ethan looked at her for a long second. "Because no one helped my family when they needed it. I won't watch another family suffer." And as the truck rumbled through the white void of the Montana night, Sarah realized something. Sometimes angels don't come with wings. Sometimes they come with scars, quiet eyes, and a past they don't talk about. And sometimes they arrive in the exact moment you break. Before the chapter ends, remind viewers to subscribe so they never miss more emotional stories like this one. Ethan's cabin stood on higher ground, reinforced, warm, fully stocked, built with the precision of a man who prepared for the worst. When the truck finally stopped, Sarah realized how close they had come to freezing. The kids spilled inside like exhausted kittens. Ethan immediately lit the fireplace, boiled water, set out emergency beds, and checked the children's frostbite. He moved with the discipline of a soldier, but the gentleness of someone who'd carried children before, someone who knew loss. Sarah watched him quietly, noticing details, the scars across his forearm, the tired lines on his face, the way he never said a single word about his pain. Just when warmth finally filled the cabin, a loud crack split the air, a tree falling from the weight of snow. Then another. The blizzard wasn't done. Ethan looked out the window, jaw tightening. The storm's shifting. We might lose power in the whole valley. Sarah's panic surged again. Is it dangerous? Not if you're with me, Ethan said, his voice firm. The kids instantly relaxed. Hours passed. Stories were shared. Jacob sat close to Ethan, asking questions about the Navy, about courage, about fear. Ethan answered everyone. Lily fell asleep on his shoulder. Sarah realized how long it had been since her children trusted a grown man. When the power finally flickered, Ethan switched to backup generators. When the storm shook the cabin, he added more reinforcement. When Sarah's hands trembled, he wrapped a blanket around her shoulders without a word. And when she finally broke down in quiet tears, mourning her husband, her fear, her exhaustion, Ethan stood beside her. Not touching, not intruding, simply present. You're strong, he said gently. Stronger than you think. By morning, the blizzard had calmed, but the world outside was buried in snow deeper than any winter before. The roads were gone, power lines down, the valley isolated. Ethan turned to her. You and the kids stay here. For as long as you need. I'll dig out the path. I'll contact rescue. Sarah stared at him, overwhelmed. Why are you doing all this? Ethan looked away, voice low. Because once I had a wife and daughter, and a storm took them while I was overseas. I didn't make it home in time. Sarah's breath caught. His pain, heavy as the winter, hung in the air. Saving you, he whispered, feels like saving them. Like I got a second chance to do something right. For the first time since Daniel's death, Sarah stepped forward and hugged someone. Ethan stiffened, then slowly, carefully returned the embrace. Thank you, she whispered, for giving my kids a chance. For giving me a chance. Days passed. The rescue teams arrived. The storm cleared, but something had changed. Something deep, unseen, undeniable. The widow found a protector. The ex-SEAL found a family. And in the quiet snowfall of Montana, both found a future they didn't expect. Before ending, remind viewers to subscribe, like, and share the story to support more emotional and powerful tales.